Hey there, and welcome back to the Catholic Geek. So I have decided I am going to run both of these devices today, and we're going to do them in sessions because I mentioned in my video for the 20th anniversary Wave 2, since it's a little more complex to do the Wave 2, I'm going to be doing a session of these, one of the two Wave 2s that I'm going to work on of the 20th anniversary, and then these two. And then I'll just repeat the cycle. So I already did the 20th anniversary. Since these guys I haven't started running yet, I'm going to today, and then we'll go back to them and then back, because we still got a few more left on this one to unlock. So we're gonna get these guys started today. As many of y'all know, these are based on the Royal Knights, unlike these version 2s, which are the 7 Demon Lords. So let's get this one started. So yellow, Digimon X. So time is 5:46. Since I'm a stickler for getting these exactly right, I'm gonna put it at 47. And well, it literally just changed, so there we go. So there's that egg. Same thing here, and it'll say Digimon X blue. So this one will be 17 because of military time on here. And then we're going to say 48 on this one. And slowly wait for the 1 minute that this is going to take to go through. I'd say as soon as I just got this Fitbit the other day, so I can keep up time properly now, because I'm always looking at my phone, which I can't do if I'm filming, obviously, because I'm still old school and using my phone and not a professional camera yet. Granted, this is an iPhone X and the camera should be really hyper good, I guess, but oh, we gotta start this eyebrow. So he's gonna want some food. He's hungry. So let's feed him. Now I gotta double check something because the 20th anniversaries and the DMXs work differently. Yeah, okay. It's because on the 20th anniversary versions, the one food fills up one heart. So let's do normal. So we can view him. And I'm sure this guy's gonna hatch right in the middle of this. Oh, there he is. I wish I could remember this one's name. I can't. I know this one's based on the Terriermon line, and this one will be based on the Lopmon line. Oh, here he goes. Same thing with him, I guess, on this. So let's do one more training right here. Oh. Okay, I have this habit where I always make sure I get the excite on it, or excellent, however it's done. So we'll let him go. So Lopmon is actually one of my favorites. And as a reminder, if you don't know, you can actually push this button when they're eating or training and skip through the whole thing. So, also another thing to note is, for those that don't know, Terriermon and Lopmon are twin Digimon, and so this one's got one horn, this one has 3 horns, and unfortunately their evolutionary lines, while somewhat similar, can be very drastically different, because Terriermon goes through a mechanical change pretty much and becomes Mega Gargomon, this giant tank robot rabbit looking thing, and Lopmon becomes eventually Kirpymon or Cherubimon, depending on English or Japanese, and it's just still a giant rabbit. Now granted, both of them, I think, in Japanese I think it's Holy Gargomon, and this one's, would be Cherubimon or Kirpymon, so technically I guess they're both some form of holy Digimon, but Kirpymon or Cherubimon can be a celestial Digimon, while Mega Gargamon or Saint Gargamon aren't, or isn't, I should say. I can tell my kids in the background are starting to get a little more antsy. We're actually trying to keep them quiet today. I was going to try filming the whole first evolution, but that's probably not going to happen. I'll just try to remember to make another video tomorrow. And catch up on what happened between them. Because the evolutionary routes are about the same on this. Now my understanding though is in these devices, if you look down here at the evolutionary route, there's actually a plus, plus VI plus, because of a very specific new Digimon that's new to these. I mean, it's a new evolution for our current Digimon. And we're going to work on trying to get him, but no one's got a proper evolutionary guide yet, and the ones that are working on it are working really hard, and we appreciate that. And once we have the guides up, I will post them in the links before, and of course credit the person that's made it up, because he's awesome and a hard worker, and without him I would not be able to do any of these devices, honestly. So we will give a shout out real quick to Humulos, and when he gets that item up, we will of course, or item up, that page up, we will link it below in the description. And let's feed these guys. So yep, so yeah, it takes 1 minute to hatch, 10 minutes to digivolve to this, then it takes 12 hours to digivolve to the next form, then 24 hours, here, we can do it down here. So 10 minutes from here to here, 12 hours from here to here, 24 hours from here to here, 36 hours from here to here, 40 hours to here, 48 hours to here. And even though it's not on this one, because this is the instructions from the version 1s, but they're almost completely identical, there's one more over here, and it's also 48 hours. Now, I don't know if there's any special things you have to do to get that one though, because I'm pretty sure it's going to involve some sort of fusion. And I know there's 2 different eggs to choose from in this, but I don't know as of yet. This is still a surprise for me. I don't know if this is going to be like the version 20th, that once you have a rookie, I'm not sure if it will then allow you to hatch a second egg and have 2 on the screen at once. If it does, that's going to be a nightmare for me, I'll be honest. Now if it does that, I will just take perfect care of both of them on each device. But aside from that, I'm not really sure if it's going to, but I'm not sure. I'm very confused a little bit on these new devices. I can't read Japanese, unfortunately. But I don't want anyone to really spoil this part of it for me until the evolutionary guides are up. So we'll just have to wait until then. But let's check these guys' stats one more time. Oh, they both need strength. So we will do training one more time with them. Oh, we're about to get more poop. No, we just got more poop there. Now, one benefit to the X's over the 20th anniversary versions is that they count hours while they're asleep. And that's useful because it takes exactly 7 days. The 7th day will be what evolves them. Unless you freeze them, of course. If you freeze them when you try to put them to sleep when it's not bedtime, it freezes them, and you can do that indefinitely, which again is another difference, because on the 20th anniversaries it only freezes them for like 3 hours, and that's the most, and that can be used to regain your battle points. You know, your there's a word for it, and I'm going a little dense right now. It's, hang on, we can just pull them over here real fast. I just skipped right over it, didn't I? I did it again. The DP, right there. This isn't used in these versions. So what happens is in these versions, you know, the whole battle system is very different. So part of me likes the battle ability to just be able to do this, because I can do it really quickly, and it's a lot quicker for me to train and battle that way. Some like this route, you know, the battle on this. I wish it was more of a mixture of the two. I wish you could still do this, but you didn't have to rely on the DP. But that's probably saying then you want it really, really easy, and you know, they're for fun. They shouldn't have to be paranoid about doing everything right, etc., etc. But I do like these colors. They're not my favorite colors, but I kind of like, I don't know which one I like of the best. I like the silver and gold here, and then the yellow and blue deeply contrasts with them. It's not like they work together that well, but at the same time they do. It's weird. So yeah, it's kind of bizarre on the coloration, but all of, I mean, these actually make sense because they're kind of like evil colors. The only thing I would have changed is I would have made the caging on this one maybe a silverish color, and you know, somewhat, I don't know, I mean, these are silver and gold too, sort of like these two down here, you know, they're silver and gold as well, but I would have changed this to something, maybe yellow even, I don't know. I would say black, but it wouldn't work as well, you wouldn't see it. It's weird, but at least these make sense because they're somewhat evil colors associated with evil and stuff, and then these are just generically done. Now I know one fun fact I've seen some people do, I don't do it because I'm too much of a perfectionist, but the backings of all of these devices, even this device, which is the American version, all have the same back on it. So I've seen people actually switching them around so they can like individualize theirs. So I thought that was pretty neat. I was like, yeah, I guess that's one way to customize it. Because like with Tamagotchis, a lot of people get special covers to put on them or something. But with these, people are changing the battery packs. And part of me said that we weren't going to wait, but I mean, we're about to digivolve, so I guess we can hold on just a moment. Just a little bit longer. Clean up this poop here. Now, a lot of y'all may not know, so I'm not going to spoil it just yet, but there is a new evolution for one of the Royal Knights in this, and it kind of almost creates a new level. See, I'm of an old school where there's only so many evolutionary levels. So you have the Digitama, or the egg, you have the freshly hatched, which in Japanese I believe is called fresh. No, it's just called baby. Maybe baby. I can't remember exactly. I'm mixing my names up now, but in what sometimes they call it fresh, other in training. Oh, here we go, one evolution. Well, we see what you think about that. Yay, now we have Gummymon. And then the next stage, in English, it's still in training. It's like in training 1, in training 2, I think. I might be wrong, that might be the Japanese name, and in English it's fresh and then in training. But then we get to the next form, which is child in Japanese, or rookie in English, then champion or adult, then ultimate. Wait, hang on. Oh, it's called perfect in Japanese, perfect, and then in English it's ultimate. Then in the next level up in Japanese is ultimate, and then our name for it is mega. And then there's one more level, and it's really rare to find one properly named this, but it's an ultra level, and that's the English name. Japanese is super ultimate. Now in games like this, for gaming purposes, like Cyber Sleuth, even things like that, they go ahead and just call them ultra because that's just how the game categorizes them. But when you look at the wikis and more official announcement type things in the manga, more or less, Gummymon there, or not Gummymon, Kokomon, I mean, but you see very few of them are actual ultra level. Like most of what I've read even doesn't consider burst mode to even be ultra level. It's just they're not quite that power yet. A few of them I know that are originally supposed to be ultra level. Arcadiamon, ultra level. Creepymon, I can't remember what the mode name for it is, but it's after he absorbed Arcadiamon. Ulforce Vidramon, future mode. Susanuamon is actually one as well. So he's like technically the only one in the anime to actually ever show up. An Ultra Digimon. There's a small handful of others. I'm pretty sure Grace Novamon is considered one. But in games like this, you have that just because it's how they categorize things to make it simpler. And it is one of the funniest arguments you'll see, like in Digimon Facebook pages or groups and communities, is what actually is an ultra level. Some think anything that goes into another form after Mega. Like they'll say that Omegamon or Omnimon is an ultra level when he's not, because even Imperial Dramon Paladin mode isn't considered an ultra level, and it actually uses the power of Omnimon to digivolve further. So it takes excessive amounts of energy and power to get the ultra level, and it's just kind of a thing. And I hold to the old school view on it. I'm not going to get mad at someone that doesn't. I might you know, kind of jokingly argue with them. But when people start getting really angry about it, I'm just like, dude, this is a game, franchise type thing. It's fun. If you're getting angry because someone has a different view of it, a more, I guess, traditional view of the original stuff on it, then you're what people refer to as a toxic fan, and no one likes a toxic fan. I mean, we're all guilty of it every so often. I mean, let's look at Doctor Who, for example, especially with the current Doctor. That's a huge issue, and it's shown who's really toxic fans and who aren't. I'm personally not a big fan of the current Doctor, but probably I think she's a great actress, but it's the writing and the story. So, you know, but this isn't a Doctor Who video, so we're not going to discuss that right now. Maybe in the future if y'all want me to. But we will do one more thing with these two guys real fast. Let's check their stats. Okay, they're both hungry and need strength, so he needs one, and this one over here needs one more. And so let's do the training real fast. And this is so you can see what they look like when they do the training. He's got little 3 horns, and I'm editing. This one's going to look identical except with 1 horn. Also, a bit of advice. I know many of us in English-speaking countries watch the old Digimon movie. A lot of people don't realize it's 3 different OVA specials fused into one movie, and they tie together stories that aren't supposed to have direct links. And because of that, it makes stuff in the series a little bit more confusing a little later on. So I would recommend watching the Japanese versions, or at least reading the plot lines of the original. For example, in the third part of the movie, or the actual third OVA, that's the wrong one, the older Digidestined are actually in it, but we don't see them in the American version. Some of the storylines turn around, they've moved some scenes, and it gets pretty bad. And I've only recently realized that a lot of fans don't consider the third part of the movie to be canon to the series, even though it is. And the first movie is definitely canon because it tells the story that we hear about in the series. The second movie is referenced in the series, and there's a sequel to it with the whole Armageddon-mon storyline. The third movie, though, just tends to take place right after the Digimon Emperor series. That's why we don't see Ken in the movie, but we don't see them going after him either. But honestly, I'm going to say no, it's definitely canon, because, I mean, why would they make all these movies or OVAs canon and then make one randomly not? It just doesn't make sense. It raises some questions, because one of the big questions is how does, you know, it's kind of established as a rule that if a Digimon dies in the human world, it can't be reformatted, so it can't be reborn. However, this movie is the first evidence that that's not necessarily true, because Kokomon comes back as an egg. Then in the Digimon Tri, and at this point it's not spoiling it for anybody, because if you haven't seen it yet, I'm sorry, but Meikumon, of course, is not sacrificed. They show mercy on her. That's the whole point of the series, is being merciful. And she dies. But if you pay attention to the end credits, you'll start hearing the sound of a Digitama hatching, or a Digi-egg hatching. And the directors have come out and stated, yes, that is Meikumon's egg hatching. She's been reborn. So the whole rule about Digimon not being able to be reformatted after dying in the human world is more of a guideline than it is a rule, I guess we could say. Because Wizardmon's a great example. He died in the human world and never came back. Pumpkinmon and Gatsumon got killed by Mootismon. We never really see them again. But there's some hope in that you know, some Digimon do come back, of course. No, of course, I haven't seen the movie, the Tri movie yet, because I was supposed to see it, today's 29th? Supposed to see it 4 days ago in the theater, and, well, Toei canceled all showings of it in general, so our theater had to just cancel the movie. Then they just finally closed our theater, because it was the one theater that wasn't closing, and then they closed it. But that was a little frustrating, so maybe they will release it in English, because I've been told it wasn't going to be in English, it was just going to be subbed. So hopefully they'll release it in English when they do release it in theaters again. But this video is getting a bit longer than I was expecting, so we will keep you updated on this one, and I will see y'all next time. Have a good night.